This safety video is brought to you by Rochester Midland Corporation. We provide integrated, sustainable solutions by offering high-quality chemical products and services to meet the diverse needs of customers in water, energy, food processing, restroom hygiene, facility maintenance, and industrial environments. At Rochester Midland, our #1 value is our commitment to safety. The video provides you with the general safety guidelines to follow when handling and using RMC products. There are 3 important things that are covered in the video. 1. Knowing the potential hazards of each product. 2. Knowing the proper and safe way to use products. 3. Knowing what to do in case of a spill or personal exposure. We have broken the video up into various segments. Segment 1. General safe handling practices. Here is a list of safe handling practices that you should follow when handling any type of cleaning product and equipment. 1. Take nothing for granted. Even the most routine tasks, such as moving cleaning products from one place to another. 2. Prior to use, make sure that all hose connections, nozzles, and other equipment parts are secure and will not come off during use. 3. In the case of liquid chemicals, make sure that the containers are carefully vented before opening, and point the opening away from your face as you open it. 4. When spraying any chemical, make sure that the area is clear and that the surface being sprayed is the one that you want sprayed. 5. Wear all necessary protective gear. Good practices include reviewing the safe use of the chemical or product with those involved prior to its actual use, and document any potential problems, corrective actions that take place, and provide recommendations for protection for those who will be exposed based on application. 6. Make sure that the containers are cleaned and secured after every use. Clean up any spills and drips immediately. Make sure the cover is on and secure. 7. If an accident does occur, follow the actions recommended on the product label and safety data sheet for the cleaning product. Segment 2. The product label. Every product whose chemical makeup could cause potential harm must, by federal law, carry a label that contains clear and complete information on that product's potential hazards and safe handling procedures. The GHS label includes very important information that you should familiarize yourself with. An example of a label and its components can be found in the accompanying book. This includes information on each pictogram. All containers of hazardous chemicals supplied in the workplace must be labeled, and the label must be in good quality. Never mix any RMC chemicals together unless the label specifically indicates that you can. Segment 3. Safety data sheets. Another important source of information about the chemical products you use is the Safety Data Sheet, or SDS. Federal law requires that manufacturers provide these documents for every product that contains potentially hazardous materials. Manufacturers are required by OSHA to maintain these documents. The SDS will give you access to more complete information about the chemicals you use. Let's review several sections of the SDS closer. Section 1 identifies the complete product brand name, recommended use of the chemical, and restrictions on use and company contact information. Section 2 identifies hazards of the chemical or mixture. Section 3 describes the product's composition and information on ingredients. Section 4 contains emergency and first aid procedures to follow in the event of accidental, unprotected exposure to the product. It describes first aid measures for ingestion, inhalation, or exposure to skin or eyes, and contains any special notes to a physician. Section 5 provides firefighting measures if the chemical you are working with causes a fire. There are 16 sections, and each section contains valuable information on the product. An example of an SDS can be found in the accompanying book, where you can review an SDS in its entirety. Keep in mind that information contained in an SDS is the manufacturer's recommendation for safe handling and storage of their product. The final responsibility for deciding what needs to be used for protection rests with the user. As stated in the OSHA Hazard Communication Standard, the user should complete an assessment and document of how and where the hazardous product or chemical is being used, and what safety precautions and protection is truly needed to protect workers from exposure as they use or store it. Segment 4. Protective clothing and equipment. What kind of protective clothing and equipment is recommended when working with a chemical product? Generally, safety glasses with side shields, goggles, or face shield are the first line of defense against injury to the eyes or face. The eyes are the most sensitive part of the body, and once damaged, heal slowly. Chemical splashes and sprays may cause serious and sometimes permanent damage to unprotected eyes. For just about all cleaning operations, protective gloves are a must. Direct chemical exposure to the hands can result in severe irritation, burning, and permanent scarring. Choose a good-fitting pair of neoprene, nitrile, or other chemical-resistant gloves, as recommended in the SDS. While using chemicals, a snug-fitting pair of neoprene or other chemical-resistant overboots offer good protection against chemical spills and provide a level of safety when floors are wet. During some cleaning operations, floors may become slippery, or in a more industrial warehouse setting, steel-toed boots may be required. In your facility, always try to work in an area with good ventilation when working with any hazardous product or chemical. If a respirator is recommended, and it is determined that one must be used during a certain application, contact your safety professional for guidance. OSHA requires training, fit testing, and a medical approval before someone can be allowed to wear one safely. Good personal hygiene is another way to protect yourself. Wash your hands thoroughly after working with cleaning products, especially before eating or smoking. Do not leave cigarettes or food in areas used to store cleaning products, or in areas that are regularly cleaned with strong chemicals. Keep a change of clothes available in case the ones you are wearing become contaminated with cleaning agents. Always wash clothes exposed to cleaning products separate from other clothes. Segment 5. Safe handling of acid and alkaline products. Always wear safety glasses or goggles, protective gloves, and suitable protective clothing when handling acid or alkaline products. Make sure you follow all the steps. Solutions of acid or alkaline materials should be prepared by adding the product to water, never the reverse. Highly alkaline powder products, those containing chemicals like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, can generate a great deal of heat when mixed with water. Consequently, these materials should be added to cold water slowly with careful stirring in order to prevent violent reactions and control the amount of heat given off. Allow time for any heat that might be generated to dissipate between additions by adding a number of small portions to the water rather than making a single quick addition of a large amount. Make sure you follow directions concerning concentrations. Be particularly careful when adding powders to hot water. The rate at which the product dissolves increases rapidly, and so does the rate at which the heat is generated. Never mix acid products with alkaline products. When acidic materials are used for descaling or derusting, make sure there is adequate ventilation. Never add acids to chlorinated compounds such as bleach. This will result in the release of dangerous chlorine gas. In general, do not mix acid or alkaline products with other chemicals, unless there are specific instructions and directions for so doing. Segment 6. Safe handling of peracetic acid. Organic peroxides, such as peracetic acid, are a class of oxidizers that require special consideration. Working with peracetic acid products requires proper care. There currently is no assigned OSHA PEL for peracetic acid. However, one of the components, hydrogen peroxide, has a PEL of 1 part per million TWA and would be the best guideline to follow. Safety goggles, protective gloves, and suitable protective clothing must be worn. Self-contained breathing apparatus should be used for emergency response or whenever there are strong peracetic acid fumes present. Safety showers and eye wash fountains must be available in the vicinity of peracetic acid handling systems. A sizable water source should be available wherever peracetic acid is used to wash off peracetic acid splashes or fight fires. Peracetic acid should be stored in its original container in an upright position on an acid-proof floor. Storage conditions require areas with good ventilation, cool temperature, and protection from sunlight. Any contamination, especially with metals, Alkalis, bases, caustics, and reducing agents must be avoided. Keep away from sources of heat and ignition. All packages or containers should be equipped with venting devices to avoid overpressure with oxygen gas. Do not cover closures that allow venting. All containers should be checked regularly for heat generation, exotherms, or swelling. If a stored drum is warm or bulging, it is important that you do not move or agitate the drum. Immediately spray the drum with a cool water spray and move other drums away from the warm or distended drum. Call for assistance. Spills of any of these hazardous chemicals should be cleaned up as soon as possible. It is best to refer to the specific product SDS for appropriate spill cleanup actions. Segment 7. Common sense rules. Accidents don't have to happen, but even if one occurs, serious permanent injuries can be prevented. It all comes down to following some basic common sense rules. 1. Follow directions. Always refer to the product label and safety data sheet the first time you use a new chemical or cleaning product. Follow all mixing, diluting, and application procedures exactly. From time to time, review these documents to refresh your knowledge of the product. 2. Use safety equipment. It takes only a few seconds to put on safety eyewear, only a minute or two to put on gloves, boots, and other protective clothing. This equipment may be all that stands between you and a serious, perhaps even permanent injury. 3. Develop and practice good techniques. Your job is an important one. Take pride in the way you do your work. A sloppy, careless attitude while working with strong cleaning products is an accident waiting to happen. Always pay attention to what you are doing. 4. Make sure all your cleaning equipment is in proper working order. Pay particular attention to hose connections. Always inspect equipment for damage before adding chemicals. 5. Plan ahead. Know what to do if an accident occurs. Once again, refer to the product label and data sheets for a refresher on safety instructions. 6. If you have any doubts about the cleaning products you work with, ask your supervisor. Don't assume anything when it comes to handling strong cleaning products. 7. Know the specific first aid procedures to follow for each cleaning product you work with. These procedures are spelled out on the product labels and safety sheets. 8. Know where the water is. It's the first treatment that should be used if the skin or eyes are exposed to spills or splashes. Make sure you know the locations of water sources, eye wash stations, and safety showers, and that they are all in working order. 9. Think. Always keep your mind on your work. The single major cause of accidents is carelessness. Horseplay between workers while cleaning is absolutely forbidden. It's an accident waiting to happen. Every day, in every kind of business, people use chemical products safely. There is no reason for accidents or injuries to happen. It all comes down to you. Ultimately, your safety and the safety of your coworkers rest with your knowledge and attitude toward your job. The more you know about the cleaning products you work with, the less chance an accident will occur. Thank you for watching, and please make safety your #1 priority every day. You'll be glad you did, and so will a lot of other people.